Well, we have a program called Engineering Science at U of T, and really it's the students that get into that program, first of all, have very high grades, and the ones that make it through after the 2 years, it's probably the most demanding engineering-like program in the country, and perhaps even in North America. So essentially, any student in the Inside program that has pretty good marks, then my next thing is I would interview them to make sure that they're good holistic thinkers and also have good communication skills. And because if they don't have that, you're going to struggle.
The challenge is those problem solvers are really expensive now. Like, I mean, like U of T grads or Waterloo grads, they're off to Silicon Valley. They're making 7 figures, not 6 figures, 7 figures with their comp packages. So when you think of small, medium-sized businesses to compete, you can't afford them. I mean, and that's the supply and demand issue.
Well, and then so I was sort of smiling, right, as we're talking about this utopian candidate that we'd hire. I don't know how successful you've been in finding that person, but I certainly haven't been, right? So maybe the question is more on us as business leaders. How do we recognize that skill set that can be developed, right? If they don't develop until they're 25, if we bring them into the organization and get them exposure to the business, how do we create those holistic thinkers in our businesses that understand our businesses to solve those problems? Because I just don't think you're going to find one on the street that you'll pick off easily and bring into your business.
I'll agree that you're not going to find one right off the street, and then obviously from a pay scale perspective, you're going to be competing against the Googles and the Amazons and et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
But I think it really goes back to that incubation period where you probably get them at the co-op work term. And then you start teaching them your business model and kind of what the organization is doing and kind of how we are leading within AI and, kind of get their interest going from that perspective. And you hope that once they have done their grad, you hire them as part of a new grad program. I mean, that's what the intention is. But I do like within our space itself, I think the co-op programs for multiple universities, it's truly going to be the key because you want to be able to get that skill set and you're getting it very cheap. If you compare that to somebody you're going to hire off the street.
Well, we have a tendency to try to pick all the people from Waterloos and Toronto and stuff. Exactly. But again, you got to know what you want. And it's not necessarily all of these guys that come out with the best degrees and want to work for Google. It's what's applicable to the business. And I think that's where we have a challenge in ourselves because, again, our co-ops are from Waterloo, except we never hire them. They never come back to us because they're like, okay, it's a great place to do a co-op, but once I graduate, I'm going to get the 7-figure salary in Silicon Valley. So I think it's really saying I know for a fact we don't need all of these geniuses in our organization. We need people who are hard work ethic, understanding the business, and willing to roll up their sleeves and work with us. And so we've kind of shifted our mindset on that.
Because they're willing to go anywhere.
Join.
They're willing, they weren't like us, not willing to go anywhere. We want to stay within the boundaries of, within 100K or something of our families and friends. Now it's like they'll go across the country or across, go to the US, right?
You have to adapt yourself. So, I mean, the big banks have all got digital factories set up to attract
that's why they're
new
doing
talent. They design the workspace to be more intuitive to the environment they like to work with. And you're going to have to change, otherwise they're not going to come.